Hey, this is Wileen Benson, and you are on the Daily Gratitude Call, where we start every day in gratitude. Gratitude is the highest energy state that we can be in. It creates a frequency of positive vibration that attracts positive experiences into our lives. Hey, everybody, this is Wileen Benson. This is our Daily Gratitude Call. Happy Monday morning. Excited for a brand new week, a new day, and excited for what we get to learn on our Daily Gratitude Call today. Got several of us here on today. We've done a few rounds of gratitude just to kind of get us warmed up, and there were several things that were mentioned about pattern, cycles, time, order. A couple of people mentioned sunrise. One person mentioned sunrise after the dark, and another person mentioned sunrise on the snow tops, or snow top mountains. And so, just slightly different takes on sunrise. And anyway, that was the one word that kind of stuck out to me in all of this: pattern, cycles, order, time, all of that was sunrise. So that's what we're going to focus on today, is gratitude for sunrise, and we'll just see what comes up. So I'm going to set the timer for 90 seconds. We're going to have a private silent meditation, gratitude for sunrise, and just write down whatever comes to you. This is your own personal inspiration, and then we'll share in the mastermind that follows the little meditation that we do. It's really awesome how our understanding just expands and grows, and our inspiration is magnified. So excited for what we get to learn. Gratitude for sunrise, 90-second private meditation. Begin. All right. Just gonna finish writing this last little thought. All right. I too love the sunrise on a snow-top mountain. When I look at my back sliding glass door that's right behind our kitchen table, our dining room table, we have this awesome view. We have about a half an acre, and so we have quite a bit of space, just in our own backyard. And then there's a field right behind us, and there used to be a second field, but they're actually putting some homes in the second field. So we're going to be able to see the backs of somebody else's yards, and not too long, probably throughout the summer, we'll have a few homes popping up there. But we still have, trees, and we can see this beautiful mountain in the back. And in the wintertime, it is really beautiful because there's snow. And then when the sun comes up, there's this orange, right at the top, there's just this orange blast of color that happens when the sun rises. And I thought of that the sun is really a bright spot in a muted landscape. So in the wintertime, that's got these muted colors. It's not all white, there's still some green and lots of other colors. As an artist, I can see all the different colors, but they're very muted. And I've noticed that when I get dressed, sometimes if I'm just feeling the need for a bright spot, I will put on a bright skirt or a bright scarf or, something. I'll wear something that has some color, and it's almost like a defiance. It's like, see, I can still feel the sun even when it's not there. And there are ways for us to bring a bright spot into our lives consciously. And I hadn't really considered that before. Sometimes I'm just like intuitively picking something to wear, but I realize it's because I have a desire to just feel that feeling of spring, or just uplift that happens when the sun comes up. Who else has something they'd like to share?
I do.
Awesome.
Every new day is a new opportunity to start over in life and start fresh. When the sun pierces the dark and illuminates it, I am reminded of how Christ's light overcomes Satan's darkness every time.
Mm-hmm.
And my light, in turn, overcomes my internal darkness as well.
Oh, beautiful. I love that. I love that. I'm not even going to add anything to it. That's perfect just the way it is. Thank you, Melissa. Who else?
I'd like to share.
Thanks, Phil.
I thought of the energy that comes from the light of the sun, and how it causes this chain reaction, and how there's something going on inside the sun that's creating the light, and it's being broadcast, and the matter, no matter how turbulent, no matter how compressed, no matter what, it can't be really destroyed. It just changes shapes, or it changes its form, and then it gets broadcasted out. And so, like, that light can come here and then be harnessed, and that energy once again can be harnessed and turned into two different things that power different things into different kinds of vibrations. And that was just really amazing to me, just to contemplate that for a minute.
Wow, beautiful. Thank you. Yeah, awesome. Like solar power, we can harness that solar power and turn it into lots of other things. I think that's really a great example of the resources that we have available to us that we can harness, we can utilize, that are always available, and use them for our purposes. I love that idea. Thank you. Who else? Well, you're thinking if you want to share, I'm just going to add a little bit more, Phil, to what you shared about that internal, that the light that's radiated out from the sun is happening because of the things, the chain reaction or whatever that's happening inside within. And I just want to draw that analogy between the way that the sun radiates out and also the way we radiate out. There's something going on inside of us. If we are, there's a lot of things that could maybe cause even darkness, within us. Like if we buy into limiting beliefs about ourselves, if, we don't think we're good enough or whatever, that can diminish our light. But then there are things that, just like I put a bright skirt on to kind of brighten my mood, there are things that we can do to brighten ourselves inside so that we can radiate more brightly as well. Anybody else have something they'd like to share before we shift over to our permission process?
This is Suzanne.
Awesome. Thanks, Suzanne.
I was thinking of the song, "The Day Dawn is Breaking, the World is Awaking." And I can't remember exactly how the next line goes, but I think it's something about clouds of darkness fleeing away.
Mm-hmm.
And I was thinking about how the sun, we always know that the light is coming after the darkness.
Mm-hmm.
And so when we're in a dark place, we can know that there will always be light that will eventually come to replace that darkness.
Mm-hmm.
Sometimes we have to do it ourselves, and sometimes someone else will help us find that light after the darkness.
Beautiful. Thank you. I thought of the word tender mercies. You know, God, there's tender mercies, I think, that happen when we feel like we're at the end of our rope. Some tender mercy will happen, and it could be just some little tiny thing that's that spark that really brings that we can fan that spark to into a flame that feels like, finally the light. I also want to mention the sun always being there. You know, you think about like the turmoil and wars and all kinds of things that have happened throughout history, and the sun is still as bright as it ever was. A lot of times we feel our own light diminishing because of external circumstances, situations that are happening in the family, or, you know, a financial stress, or a child that's making choices that are, you know, hurtful to, you know, to think that they're having to go through certain things, or, you know, even an illness or something like that, that maybe we felt like this outside external influence is starting to dampen our light. The sun is a really great example of how we can actually stay strong, you know, how our light doesn't have to diminish just because of outside circumstances, that we can stay strong, firm, constant in our light, so that we can sort of be a beacon for other people. And it's very possible to do that. Any last thoughts before we shift over to our permission process?
Can I share? This is Rachel.
Yeah, thanks, Rachel.
Just along those lines, those are my exact thoughts. But just to believe and to know that the sun is there, that the light is coming, and that's our choice to be able to put our faith and belief in that. And there's power in that helps us to live in hope. I live in hope when I have those kind of thoughts, that I know that the promised blessings are already there, and I know that the sun is there, the literal Son of God. Those are very hopeful thoughts.
Mm-hmm. Thank you. So we always do have something solid that we can hold on to, you know, if our light does feel like it's sort of getting dampened a little bit. Thank you. Really appreciate that. It's always the constant radiance and light that we can hold on to. Thank you. All right, let's go ahead and take a deep breath. Just get into a place of being open, ready to receive. You know, ask some questions and just allow the perfect answers to come to you. Trust that whatever comes to you is going to be perfect. One more deep breath. And I invite you to be open to know what area in your life has maybe felt a little bit dampened, you know, a little dark, where you haven't felt the radiance of the sun as brightly as you have in the past, or we would like to. Maybe you felt that light diminishing within you, or possibly even have forgotten that there is a light outside of you that is a constant light that you can reach up to. What is one area in your life that has caused you to feel a lack of light? And just getting clear with what that area is. Just going to invite you to allow yourself to just sit in the darkness or in the half light for just a moment. Just allow yourself to notice the amount of light that this area in your life is radiating or not radiating right now. Just kind of gauge if it were the difference between pitch black and noonday sun, where does this area kind of fit? If you were to do a scale of dark is on the bottom and noonday sun is on the top, like where have you been sitting within this area of your life? How close to the sun and how close to pitch black are you? And once you've gauged where you are, I invite you to notice the difference. Notice the, based on what you choose to do from this point forward, from today's call, this point forward, that you definitely have the capacity to go even lower, and that you also have the capacity to go even higher. And in a moment, we're going to be doing our permission process, so you'll have the option to remain where you are, or to continue moving up, or continue diminishing. So within this area of your life, and knowing exactly where you're at right now, what is the limiting belief that has taken you from being at noonday sun to the place where you are right now? What's the limiting belief that has diminished your light? And as you're getting clear with that limiting belief, also notice and acknowledge the cost of having that limiting belief, how that has affected you, how that has affected your ability to radiate light to others, how it has affected you as in all the different roles that you play as a wife, as a mom, as a dad, as a friend, as a son. However, all the different roles that you play, how has this limiting belief affected your ability to be as brilliant and as warm as you can be? And as you're recognizing the cost, now you have a choice. You can stay where you're at, knowing what that is going to do to affecting your roles. And you also can give yourself permission to choose something different. And so if you're ready to give yourself permission to choose something different, say yes.
Yes.
Awesome. So what are those new beliefs? What are some new beliefs that will take the place of that old limiting belief, will not only move you upward, but will actually take you, like quantum leap you, as far and as high as you can be, to that place where you are that radiant, beautiful spirit inside that has the capacity to be a beacon to others, not just to feel good and happy yourself, but to actually radiate light out and to provide that constancy, that constant light and brilliance, being in alignment with the Son of God and seeing others as the sun, radiating out as the sun. What are the new beliefs that will allow you to quantum leap to that place? Because that is possible. If you're not quite ready to quantum leap, just allow yourself to move up on that scale as far as you're willing to today with these new beliefs. Let's get at least 2 or 3 new beliefs. And when you have those, look over those new beliefs and just compare that to that scale that you had before. And where did these new beliefs reside on the scale? Not even looking at you yet, just allowing those new beliefs to be placed on the scale, intuitively seeing where do they belong, where do they fit, where do they land on that scale of light to dark. Every word in the English language or in any language has a vibration level. Some are higher than others. And we can choose where we land on that scale of light to dark, depending on the words that we choose, the words that we allow in, the words that we allow to just sit and stew about. And we can also choose to raise our level of light vibration based on the words that we choose. So assign those words, those new beliefs, to an area on that scale. And based on how high those words are, that is the capacity they have to lift you and also to lift others as you live true to those new beliefs. And now that you're more aware of that resonance, the new beliefs and where they sit on the scale and the power that they have to bring you to that level, and also the power that they have to, as you speak those words and as you live those words, that you have the power to bring others to that level as well, because like attracts like energy attracts like energy. People are going to be attracted to you that need to be at that level. So now that you're more aware of that, what is your inspired shortcut today? What is the number one most important thing that you can do today to really anchor in and fuel that light that you're feeling from within, and also to send that light out so that it brings others and attracts them and allows them to be at that high vibration level as well? What is the one most important thing that you can do today to live that light at that level, and also to radiate that light out to bring people to that level, bring others to that level? What's your inspired shortcut? And in a moment, I'm going to open it up for some shares. I would love to have a conversation with any of you who are feeling like your light's been dampened and you just need that extra boost. I would love to be that person that can help you get that boost to get yourself back up to the light level, the highest level that you'd like to be. And to do that, all you have to do is go to askwylene.com. You can schedule a 15-minute call with me. It's a free call, and I promise you 15 minutes is enough to get what you need. So askwylene.com, that takes you directly to my calendar, and you can schedule a 15-minute call. Who would like to share something about their experience today?
I'll share.
Thanks, Melissa.
So I really struggled with your question at first. I had certain things come up, but I was kind of like, no. And I ended up coming up with my ego or my natural man. And in turn, my spiritual nature that I wanted to shed more light on. And my limiting belief was that I have to figure it out.
Mm-hmm.
And I was just putting too much pressure on that natural man or my ego to know things.
Mm-hmm.
The cost was that it brings stress to me personally and puts a strain on my relationships. And so my new beliefs are, it's already been figured out.
Mm-hmm.
God knows the beginning through the end. I trust in God. He leads me when I need him. He knows what's best for me, and I am his mouthpiece to my circle of influence.
Beautiful. Thank you. Thank you so much for sharing that. I'm sure all of us have felt that before. And, really, I love what you're saying about the ego. We definitely, there's like a counterfeit and a truth, right? With the truth is that we are enough, that we're valued, we're infinitely valuable. The counterfeit is I'm all that. And I know best. And, yes, that can be true as well. When we think about others trying to tell us what to do and stuff, it's like, I know me best. but God knows us even better than we know ourselves. And so definitely it's important for us to be guided by him, because we're going to have the easiest life and the happiest life and feel the most light. So thank you. Any other thoughts before we close our call today? All right. Well, thank you so much for being on the call today. This has been a really fun, brightening, bright spot in my life, in my day today. Super excited to be able to move forward with this feeling of brightness, lightness, light, energy, reaching up to Christ and his light, feeling the sun. I think I'm going to dress in something really bright today. So thank you all for being on the call today. We'll look forward to being together tomorrow morning. I'm super excited for what we get to learn this week, because I know that every call builds on the first. And this one, it feels like sunrise. It's like the beginning of something. So super excited for what we get to learn this week. Melissa, I noticed you unmuted yourself. Do you have something you'd like to share?
I was actually just going to say thank you.
Oh, you're welcome. All right. Thank you, everyone, for being on the call. Look forward to tomorrow morning. Thank you.
Thank you.
Hey, thanks so much for listening. And I encourage you to tune in every day to the Daily Gratitude Call. And the Daily Gratitude Call happens live every weekday morning. I'd love to have you join. So to find out how to join live, go to my website, WileenBenson.com. Thanks for tuning in.